Hello and welcome back to Kalis Dawn plays Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn, and we are not at our normal stream time. In fact, it's morning where I am, and normally I don't stream until later in the evening. However, due to changes in my work schedule and waiting for some things, it's easier for me to do that right now. Hold on a moment. All right, sorry about that. I got a work call just as I was talking about work. So yeah, normally I don't stream at this time of day, but due to some changes in what's going on, I am streaming at this time of day so that the stream won't be missed later, because very likely at my normal stream time I will be busy working. Such is life. All right, so last time we discovered that the Duke Ludveck, Lord of Felleray, was conspiring to overthrow Queen Elincia, and we are going with Lucia now to his province to gain evidence, so that we can have him denounced in the assembly, in the noble parliament, or whatever you want to say, House of Lords sort of deal. And so that is the mission that we are currently on, and I'm going to do my best to get as much experience for Nephany as I can. So I'm going to go ahead and skip this, since I did this on last night's video, last night's stream. All right, so here we are. We have found the evidence, and we have been discovered, and so we're going to try to break our way out to get to the exit. I assume the exit is over at either that location or this one. I don't remember. We can light these torches. We've got enemies just off the screen, just out in the shadows to the both sides. So we are going to have some fun with that. We need to create a bit of a choke point here. So let's see what we want to do. Let's step here. And I don't want to use Mordecai. My issue is, alright, so these guys are not in beast form, which makes them relatively easy prey. Let me step up right here. There we go. We have found a friend. And let's go up here and deal with them. Well, that's fine. We'll whittle them down a bit. Miss, please. That's right. Deflected with my shield. Okay. I should have spaced out so that so that we could have some fun with that. And in fact, we are going to try to do so. Is Neolucci able to grab her right now? No. Mordecai should be able to rescue. Let's rescue Les for a moment. And let's have Leanne sing her Golder. Because we're trying to get Nephany to kill everything we possibly can. Alright, here's her level up. Let's see how that goes. Not as good as last time. That's the price you pay. Not a very good level up. Magic is useless to her. But oh well. Well, it is what it is. But we don't want one of these archers who's hanging out over here, I think, to come over and shoot Leanne and kill her. So we're going to have to make some changes. Let's rescue her and move back here. Now they can't get there. And let's use an iron sword so we soften people rather than kill them. Let's light this torch. And let's go ahead and drop. And there we go. Alright. What do we have here? That's not... That looks painful. Heather's so fragile. So fragile! Wow! Why are so many people able to get in range? Dodge that, please. 48% chance, and a nice dodge. And here's somebody else getting softened up. Or killed if they're weak enough. Yep, they're slow enough that he kills them. Okay. Success for Brahm. Almost everybody here is fragile and vulnerable. And we have no healer. This is not something I like at all. I mean, I say we have no healer. Being near Leanne counts as healing enough. But, Venom Lance. Good. She avoided it, and she crits. Excellent. Success. Okay, we have a bit of a problema here. Leth, step up and light this, please. Okay. Let's see what we can do. Let's kill some archers. Again, my main goal here is Nephany experience points. That is the #1 goal. Let's drop her there. Alright. That should be good. I feel like I want to soften this archer up a bit. Poisonous bows are not really something I appreciate. Alright. What if I have her step up here and use the wind edge on him? That definitely weakens him a lot. But it's not going to kill him unless she gets a crit. And we've got a little bit of a problem there. Huh. I think we can manage it. I'm going to have her soften him, and then I'm going to have Heather kill. Ah, that is not good, Heather. That is not good at all. Heather, you can't kill because you're too fragile. And you can't fight. Error, error. Difficult problemas. Alright, let's have him go there. So we're gonna shove him there. She's gonna step in here and use her vulnerary to top off. Now they're trapped where they are. Good. Good. Success. Ouch. That's not friendly. How rude. Yeah, in their he's ready to transform. In their non-beast forms, they're, because of the way it works in this game, where their stats, their combat stats are all doubled in their beast forms, that means that outside their beast forms, they get double attacked by pretty much everything. Especially Mordecai and his ilk, who are slow to begin with. Alright, let's kill. Alright. Alright, let's wait right there. Use a nice little Galder. Whew, alright, let's do this the right way. Step back out. Shall we steal? Yes, let's steal. All the kills go to Nephany. Alright, now I'm gonna go ahead and have him wait up next to her. And that should be good to go. I'm gonna have her step out here. And him step in here. Now they're all adjacent to our healer aura, so they should be fine. Regain some health this next round. Ouch. Now everything should be set up for Nephany to teach that guy a lesson. How much healing did they get? Some. Let's step up here. And let's have Nephany take care of this. Success. It's a pity that she didn't gain a strength up on her last level up, or she would have taken him down with one less weapon durability and without taking 10 points of damage. But, you know, you win some, you win some? Yeah, definitely, that's let's go ahead and use the Galder. Alright, so we'll wait right there. And we'll wait right there for the moment. There we go. I thought we might run into some fun things. That's going to be probably a double attack with 9 each. Oh, wasn't fast enough to double attack even then. Alright, let's see what we can do right here. Yes. 100% chance to kill before they get to react. Let's shift right here. And wait. Alright, we've got a healer over here. That's useful. Let's have Nealucci step up a little. Let's see if there's anything to steal from this caster. Then Heather might do her magic. Nope. And nope. It's alright. So close. More levels. More power for Nephany. What? I promise I'm the good guy. Totally the good guy. Don't know what you're talking about. Alright, we're going to step up there and shield some people. And there we go. That's what I thought. More enemies coming up. Yeah, part 2 is short, so I think that there's just a few more levels in this. And I may be able to finish them in this stream. We will see. We will see. Up, we have enemies coming from behind. Alright, yeah, he's been hurt some. I think we have a ways to make that work. Alright, let's hope that he doesn't land a blow on Nephany. Of course he does. Level up. Let's have a good one, Nephany. Or we could do that. Okay. Not glorious. Anybody else to steal from? Nope. Got some enemies from behind that will be irritating, to be sure. Let's see if we can reach there and, that's what I thought. Ooh, a killer lance. And you're in range. 23 against her 18, which means 5, which means even if you do crit her, you'll do 15, so I don't care. As long as we don't put anybody else in range. Okay. So that longbow is the danger. Trying to think of who. The longbow needs to die. That is rather critical. Hey, Pottery. Nice, Lucia. Alright, alright. What do we got? I really... I feel wasteful only causing one person to move again, but Nephany is the main one I want to have move again, so... It's like I could just mop the floor with these guys by transforming all my beasts and running roughshod over them, but that's really not what I'm going for here. Because again, if that was my goal, well, that's considerably easier. Okay. So what I'm going to do, since this one has a heal staff and would have to move to them, is I'm actually going to block their way. And I'm going to use Vulnerary to top my health off a bit and keep them from being able to move out and heal these guys. And then... We don't have ranged weapons there. They have 22 and 29. Ouch. Great Lance. 19 damage. They still wouldn't kill her. So... Oh, she can throw? Useful, I guess. But let's keep the Iron Dagger equipped. But maybe we can use the Spectre card. I've never used one, so I want to see it anyway. No. Cool. Sort of. Alright. Alright, so let's see. This one can only attack here. These guys, only one of them can attack Heather, so they won't be able to kill her. Everybody else they can attack, I'm not concerned about. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Let's end that round. So the weaker one attacks, but this one is the one that can poison. But only a 28% chance to hit, so... Doing very well. You're going to die. Told you. Alright, and Killer Lance Boy coming in somewhere? Go ahead, attack the kitty. Excellent. That poison has lasted a long time on him. Alright, so first step is just giving all the kills to Nephany. That's, I think, step 1, step 2, and step 3. Granting kills to Nephany, the goddess of war, to hopefully get her better level ups. Let me mute my phone. Alright. Let's see here. Alright, let's step down. Use the Galder. And then... Nephany will come down and finish that. Would be nice to get a Killer Lance. That would be a nice addition to Nephany's weapons. However, people don't want to give us weapons for some reason. Alright, Neolucci, go ahead and hold that person in there, please. Alright. Let's end that turn. I don't know how much bonus XP I would get for, like, finishing this level quickly. And I don't know how long enemy reinforcements will keep coming. Would be useful to know, I suppose. Because I want to milk them for all the XP I can get on Nephany. Finally, no longer poisoned Mordecai. Of course, now Brahm is poisoned. Alright, let's step up here and deal with this gentleman. The rampaging Valkyrie that is Nephany. What? You had 2 attack. Oh, 1 durability left on her silly weapon. Ah, so sad. So sad. I didn't realize she had used all that much durability. Well, that is unfortunate. Go ahead and revert there, please. Wait. Let's wait there. How disappointing. Yes, tears indeed. Actually, let's have her step back and use her javelins to finish this off. Alright. I would totally let you live, dude. But I can't. Well, actually, no, you have no ranged weapon. No ranged weapon. Doesn't matter. You're fine. You are fine. Alright. Is there... There's some investigation to do. Let's, Oh, you can fly over this part. Well, that is convenient, sir. Shift, please. And wait. Wow, you're... Oh, birds have really terrible vision, night vision in this game, right? I think that's the case. I didn't expect it would be quite that terrible. But that's how it goes. Alright, let's end right there. It could just be Dialucci. He is quite old. Nephene's now been poisoned. How irritating. Oh! Oh, she's almost immune to magic. She's almost immune to magic. So, 7 still hurts. 14 hurts worse, but that's fine. Up somebody. An archer. Holy shit. Holy balls, Nalucci. I didn't get to see any of those fights because apparently he's that blind. He almost got killed by a single arrow shot. And, I mean, he's at 1 hit point, and then he slaughtered everybody else. Oh, that's glorious. That is glorious. Retreat, please. Oh, Nalucci. Let's get you back here. Let's revert you out, because, yeah, dude. That was funny. Okay, let's kill this guy. Yeah, obviously, that's exactly how I planned it. If I could plan things down to that precise, with that much confidence and courage, without being able to see the enemy board, I impress myself. That's all I have to say. Alright, let's step over here. Okay. And let's kill this person. I was panicked there for a moment. I mean, I would have been if I hadn't planned it, but I would have been panicked that perhaps the miscalculation happened and Nalucci was going to die. Sheesh. Alright. So let's get him over here. Let's get her down here. And let's run over here and shift, please. And I want you to run over here and make sure that we don't have... Good. No enemies over in that corner. Good. Let's wait. Ah, you're the one who's bothering Neolucci. You would hit for 0 damage, friend. Let's get a little bit of healing going on poor Neolucci. He was at 1 hit point. What's he at now? 4. So yeah, her per turn healing leaves a bit to be desired, shall we say. Is there anything we can steal from these gentlemen? No, there is not. Well, that makes me very sad. Distraught, one might say. Alright, let's step out here. Let's move over here. Let's go ahead and shift, please, into a totally just as beautiful heron. Alright, let's I don't want to stand there. Let's step there. Then let's deal with this person. Killer Lance, huh? Goodbye. Ah! 1 away from leveling. That's just torture. Alright, let's step there. Step, step, step. Good. End. Oh no. You are scratching poor Brahm. Now maybe her healing will be greater than 3. So he went from 1 to 4. That doesn't look much greater. Oh, 6. So it's doubled. Oh, I think I know why. It's her magic stat. It's healing in proportion to her magic stat. The end. Might be some problems there. Here's what I'm going to do, friend. I'm going to have him attack you. And then I'm going to finish off with Nephany. Goodbye. All right, Nephany, come on. Give me an amazing level up. Make my jaw hit the floor. My jaw did hit the floor. Not the way that I was hoping, but it did. All right, let's have her rush up this way a little bit. Feel like there's not a lot left to do here. For some strange reason, that is my sneaking suspicion. Alright, so what we're going to do right here is step up and use a Galder. Oh, still only 2x2. Well, that is Disappointing. Okay, let's step down here. And let's have you move up here and shift, please. Uh-huh. Oh boy. Oh my. Errors have occurred. Yes, yes. Attack Heather. Heather, I would like you to dodge. That is your order. Heather? I know I'm not a beautiful woman, so perhaps you were not listening to me and you were distracted by Nephany, but dodging would be good. Alright, so... vulnerary on death, vulnerary to be stolen. Let's go to vulnerary to be stolen, please. Let's go to light the torches, please. Good, we have lit all the torches. Does that do much for us? No. But I mean, it is what's giving us vision over here, even though we're out of range. But, you know, I just felt like it was a necessary part of our strategy. Excellent. Oh, boy. All right. Let's use the Golder. And then let's step back here. Mm-hmm. 9 is not a lot. Let's go ahead and use an herb. Excellent. All right. Let's come back down here. And let's destroy this one. Oh look, it's a leader of some sort. Mirage. He's got a secret book which can be stolen. Heather, you have a job to do. Are you fast enough, Heather? You are. No doubt about it. So we're definitely stealing that secret book. Let's see if we can... Yeah, that'll work. Let's finish this off, please. Oh, you think something's in the bottom right corner? I'll send someone to check. Wouldn't want to miss any delicious loot, after all. Nelucci, down here, friend. Give me a shift. I don't want to be surprised by something. Wait, you can't see anyway. Oops. I'll send someone else to check. I wonder if they will begin to fight once I send my javelin their way. My javelin's gonna break before these guys die. Which means I can't have Nephany kill them all by herself. Disappointing, to be sure. Alright, since that is a useless thing, let's send Brahm. Oh, look! There is somebody here with a coin that I could steal. Coins in this game, in case you're unaware, are something you use to give, when you're forging a weapon, to give kind of a random effect to it, a random bonus. Always beneficial, but random. Let's see if I can... what kind of magic do you have? Oh, L-Wind, so you're dangerous for the birds. Not really dangerous, generally speaking, for the others. This will leave you with 8 hit points, which lets Nephany finish you off. Ah! I had forgotten he was so close to reverting. Okay. Aha. Alright, what I'm going to do here is use Vulnerary on myself. Step up and use Galder. And then have her retreat down here. Alright, so let's see if we can soften you up. Not as much as I would like. Not as much as I would like. So, how bad would the damage be? You would hit for 19, but a 36% chance. Okay, we've also got some poison damage. What about you, sir? 16. 62% chance. That is too high of a chance for death. Heather, that is too high of a chance for death. We are going to do a little bit of battling here, though. Ah, discipline skill. Yeah, that isn't very important, really. Alright. How many uses of... 3 javelin uses. Uh-huh. How strong? So 3 javelin hits would be enough to kill. I will save that for... I will let Nephany do that because I want to level her up, and the boss should give enough XP to level Nephany up. So, we'll do that. And we'll make sure that we trap these guys in so no one can come out and hurt our squishy birds. To associate with beasts like you, one has to wonder where the queen acquired such a lack of taste. Ouch. Ouch. Yep, his resistance is halved as well. Fortunately, These guys stay in their lane. All right. You stole from him. How rude, sir. How rude. Do I get my herb back if I kill him? No. No, I do not. Irritating. Irritating. Oh, boy. I should send Heather down and, like... She's kind of stolen too many things. She needs to, trade with somebody. That's fine. Let's do some of that right now. Hello. Wait. Alright, so what I'm going to have you do... Excellent. First order of business. Seems a bit of a waste, but I'm going to have Leth kill this guy. Could I, in theory... Oh, to, like, endlessly level her up? I mean... Probably? In the final level of part 1 with Nyla, right? She could gain infinite XP just by letting people attack her. And level up from, I think she was 33. She could get to her 40, which I think is her cap. She could just let them attack her and get 1 XP forever, and they would never be able to kill her. Like, it's impossible. They couldn't hurt her magically or physically, and she stays in her form permanently. So Nyla, the queen of the wolves, would never lose, and all these ranged people will just throw their weapons until they ran out of durability. So there are infinite XP loops to be had in the game for sure. Hold on. What I want to do right here is I want to steal. Secret book. Excellent. And... Okay. Then we'll start a marathon run down next time. Mordecai, come down here. We'll just use the Galder to use it for XP. Right, Nyla does, but see, for example, so in that level you have the Black Knight and you have Nyla. You both are fully capable of clearing the entire map and are already powerful enough to be usable in endgame. But if you're a min-maxer like me, who's like sometimes a bit of a perfectionist, and you're like, yeah, but Nyla is super badass, she's awesome, and her stats are not capped. Plus, unlike the Black Knight, she can gain XP, because the Black Knight's already max level. Then you start to... This inkling of thought comes in your mind where you're like, but wait a minute. I could potentially give her max level. I could cap her stats. Is it beneficial to you, really, in a real sense? No. But you could do it. I had fun in that level. As I expected, the Queen's house pets are playful little pups indeed. The only thing your sniffing about will get you, however, is an abruptly shortened lifespan. Sure. Sure, we'll go with that. I hope you don't crit, Heather. I'm not about... I don't... No! Okay. Don't crit again. Don't. Good. All right. Excellent. I was about to say something, but I got distracted by Heather almost stealing my my Nephany level. All right. So, let's step him up here. And let's have her jump down here. And Nephany is going to kill this guy. Because it's not killing him that ends the level, it's when Lucia arrives on that square, so we're good. But yeah, when in my part 1, that's what I was going to say. In the part 1 in this playthrough, I realized something I had never tried before, and it was hilariously awesome. Oh, there, that's a much better level up. Not bad at all, Nephany. Good. Which was that Nyla has the ability with her eye patch to she can glare using her Medusa eye and turn people to stone, and they stay turned to stone for the rest of the level. You can still attack them and do damage to them. They can't counterattack, and you gain experience. So I started... Now, I say this, you only have at best about a 33% chance to turn someone to stone, right? And so you're like, that doesn't seem like a great ability. Except, I assumed that you could only have one person turned to stone at a time. I assumed very wrong. There's no limit to the number of how many people you can have turned into statues. And so I figured it out. I only tried it and discovered this about halfway through that level, the final level. But then I was like, I could have turned every enemy on the entire map, essentially, into statues, and then let other people attack them with no risk. Let, like, Leonardo and Edward get XP on these dangerous enemies. And the successful use of the glare ability gives way more XP to Nyla than killing them. Like, she gains like 10 XP from doing the successful use of the ability, whereas anybody she kills there is just 1 XP. So, yeah. My death means nothing. Our plan is perfect. There is nothing the Queen can do. Oh, you scum. Is it really that important to rule the country, you pathetic scum? Some people are just so power hungry. So power hungry. Alright. Level for Leanne. Second level in this chapter. Let's see what she gets. Magic would be favorite. More magic, Leanne, would be nice. Alright, let's go rob from this guy and begin our infinite training loop. Alright. I'm guessing no more reinforcements are coming, so that's something. There we go. No more poison. No more poison. Excellent. Alright, so let's step down here and start stealing. Steal the coin first. Oh, that can't be an infinite XP loop. I coming back to your thing here. You could create a 3-way infinite XP loop because I could bring down someone slow like Brahm and I could have him trade with Heather. But it would be very fiddly because in order to steal from someone, you have to be faster than them, and he's 5 speed slower, so he can't steal from Heather. Ah, well. I had forgotten about such details. Game mechanics, I tell you. Now, he'll probably attack me because he can't steal from me. Yep. And then I'll successfully steal from him next turn, having stolen everything that he can, that can be stolen. Yeah, like you could, again, if I brought Brahm down there, and then just I'd just be swapping, and especially if I brought Leanne in here, I could actually create a loop where I was giving Heather and Leanne endless experience, right? I could let this go to like turn 500 and just get Leanne and Heather to max level in this map. Just letting Braum continually get stolen from, using Leanne to refresh and let that process happen more in less turns. I mean, honestly, if I was like watching Netflix while doing this, I would be tempted. You know what I mean? Like set up a movie on the side and just kind of go here with a little bit of save state with the emulator, make sure nothing crashes and don't lose anything. That would be hilarious. And it'd be like, oh, what? Yeah, of course. Isn't everybody's Heather max level by this point in the game? I don't understand what your problem is. Yeah, that's actually slightly funny. And I mean, that's another thing in maps like this, like even without that part, if you wanted any of your herons to become max level, they get 10 XP every time they use their ability. So, you know, if it lasts 100 rounds, well, I mean, that's 1,000 XP. That's 10 levels, right? So you could just let it happen. Of course, again, the issue with is you can't have Heather end up adjacent to him like this. Well, you can. You have to remove her weapon. You could unequip her weapon so she couldn't counterattack. Right. You get around that with that. Unequip her weapon, and then everything would be fine. And discipline. All the loot. We have everything. Alright, so all that's necessary here is we use this for the last little bit of XP here, and we finish this chapter, and we move on to the next. Arrive. This way! And out we go. As we suspected, Lord Ludveck is intent on rebellion. His followers are spread across the land, inciting insurrection. We have the documents to prove it.
Queen Alincia, I stand ready to defend the realm. I will lead the Royal Knights into Felleray, and we will seize the Duke.
I am hesitant to resort to the sword without at least attempting diplomacy. At all costs, I must stop the people of Crimea from fighting one another.
Your Majesty! News from the countryside! Duke Ludveck has assembled an army and announced his intentions against you. The rebellion in Felleray is growing quickly.
I see. He must have realized that his operations were no longer a secret. Your Majesty, we have no time to waste. We must stand against this, for the future of Crimea. I understand. Joffrey, leader of the Royal Knights, I hereby authorize the use of military force against the rebel army.
Yes, Your Majesty, at once!
I will begin marshalling forces. This rebellion must be stopped before nobles in surrounding areas catch wind of it. Am I doing the right thing? Oh, Father, Uncle Renning. Welcome back, Marcia. Did you learn of Sir Ike's whereabouts? No, I'm sorry. I've got nothing but sore feet and a tired Pegasus. I've talked to a few local villagers who say the Grail mercenaries have been working low-paying odd jobs here and there. Nobody seems to know where they are now, but everyone agrees that this is the first time they've been gone for so long. Princess Leanne, please try to keep your spirits high. I assure you, we will continue to investigate Sir Ike's whereabouts. Thank you. Oh, Princess Leanne, you spoke.
Quite a shock, yes? My lady has been studying your language, which we often call modern speech.
That's wonderful. It's hard enough visiting a strange land, let alone learning the language. Me not big... No problem. Queen Elincia has trouble heart. Ah, I'd forgotten. The Heron tribe can peer into the heart. I can't hide the pain I'm feeling. At least, not from you, Princess Liane. Queen Elincia. Why does this happen? My people fight, brother against brother, and no matter what I do, I can't stop it. I'm a miserable failure. I just want to crawl into a cave somewhere. How can anyone believe in me now? I never asked for any of this. I never wanted to be queen. Ah, the herons and their singing. I can't do it anymore. All right. Dark clouds indeed.
Insurrection erupts across Crimea. The wounds Crimea suffered during the conflict with Dain have finally begun to heal, and it should be rejoicing in its hard-won peace. How is it that the fires of rebellion have been lit? Bastion, Queen Elincia's most trusted advisor, widely acknowledged for his political savvy, is on a mission to Dain. And the Grail mercenaries, the original authors of Crimea's recovery, are nowhere to be found. Queen Elincia, close to despair, has nonetheless ordered the Crimean Royal Knights to restore order in Felirae. Her only wish is to win the coming battle, so that she may stave off a civil war.
Chapter 3. Joffrey's Charge. Alright, see what we have here. What does Kalo have to say? Ha ha ha, Makalov. Terrible. Oh, Astrid. Astrid's amazing. No, he doesn't deserve more respect than that. Aww. Oh, Astrid, you are blind. You are so blind. The best enemies are the ones that are on fire. Yeah, yeah. Oh boy. Yeah, as blind as Nailuchi. That's accurate. Oh, Kieran. Such a stereotypical overbearing silly knight. Not on the mantle, Kieran. Why are most of their people so utterly useless? Oh boy. I hope I gain some more useful soldiers for this. Because, gonna need them. Alright, so let's take a look at what I have. I've got a decent Lance Paladin in the, in Joffrey. He's solid. He's always good. And a slightly worse, I say slightly, I mean significantly worse Axe Paladin, but he's still usable. And Astrid. Astrid is much lower level, but this Astrid is stronger than she would otherwise be. And she levels up quickly if she still has... Yeah, she has Paragon. So she levels quickly, and her stat growths are good. So Astrid is actually, unlike Makalov, who's lame, she's actually pretty incredible. And we have Marcia, who is useful. And we have budget Nephany, who has better weapons, because of course he does. Alright, let's see what I have in the shop. What do we... In the armory, we have quite a few things that are useful. What about in the special purchases section? Ah ha ha! Here's where we're talking about fun things. Let's go ahead and purchase a killer bow. And give it to Astrid. Astrid can use a sword as well, right? Astrid, you cannot use a sword? But you could in the last game. Why can you not now? I am confused. I am confused! Alright. What do we have in the special section? The other things that are good. I really do like my different things there. Let's get a killer lance for, we're gonna use it for, Nephany, actually. We're not actually gonna give it to him. Give that to the convoy, please. Okay, alright. Man, Astrid is the only one I really care about here. It's gonna be a bit of an irritating level. Well, let's see what the level looks like.
Good luck. I'll be sure to keep the palace safe. I'm sorry we couldn't allocate more troops for you. You'll be okay though, right?
Of course. We might even have too many. Actually, I'm more worried about the Queen's safety. Make sure the guards stay sharp.
Count on it. I'll maintain a tight watch on the area, and there is There is the backup plan, just in case.
Good. Hearing you reiterate that makes me feel better, I have to admit.
Remember, this isn't for glory. You'll be confronting our own people. Just do your job and come straight back. Ah, the Felleray camp.
The Royal Knights have left the capital. We estimate roughly 4,000 soldiers are marching on Felleray.
That means that 2,000 are left in the capital. That's more than I'd expected. I suppose it can't be helped. The column headed toward Felleray is primarily cavalry, is it not?
Yes, sir. Exactly as you surmise, sir.
In that case, the forces at the capital will be led by the Queen's confidant, Lady Lucia. This is most perfect. The soldiers remaining at Castle Felleray have been given detailed instructions. False instructions, I might add. The dear pawns. They are so very heroic, and so very disposable. Yep. We are falling into plot. However, in the face of true power, all plans and plots are like wet paper, easily torn through.
General, all troops are in position. We stand ready for the assault.
Thank you, Kieran. The majority of the castle vanguard appears to be common soldiers, and there's still no sign of Ludveck or any of his subordinates?
Correct, sir. And the rest are a bunch of amateurs. You should see them flop around on their horses like ragdolls. They won't last long against the finely tuned skills of our Crimean Royal Knights.
Don't get overconfident now. Most of their forces are likely inside, waiting for us to exhaust ourselves out here.
Yes, good point, sir.
And the main gate, have you seen it? Breaking through that is not going to be easy. We must be patient.
Yes, sir.
And remember, we're not facing enemy soldiers. Yes, they're foolish enough to be lured into joining Ludveck, but they are fellow Crimean citizens. Her Majesty would prefer to capture these rebels alive and try to talk some sense into them.
I'm amazed, sir. Her Majesty's kindness is touching. I'll convey that to all our men. Listen up. We're to sweep aside the rebels and punch through the fortress gate. Her Majesty wants as many lives to be spared as possible. Set lances. All forces, charge!
All right. Let's take a look at our map here. We've got a lot of enemies. Oh, and a nice sword for me to steal. They've got some things held up with some ballistae, or catapults rather. Archers with longbows. So if we actually broke through the silly gate. Wow. All right, let's see if there's items for the halving. There's a speed wing. Uh-huh. Who's this speed wing on? That's the only person I really wanted to kill besides the boss. That steel blade is pretty nice. Let's see, where is that speed wing? There we go. That one right there. Okay. Oh boy. These are all our forces, huh? That's a bit irritating. I'd prefer not to bring a lot of them. Yup, I'm not bringing any of those guys. Which means that I need to deal with some items here. So Joffrey and Kieran are headed up. Astrid is, but you are not. Let's... Alright, so that means Astrid needs to make sure she has adequate healing items. Mm-hmm. Good. And let's make sure Kieran does as well. And let's take another spear, because of course we want to make sure that we have adequate weaponry. Alright, let's go ahead and save and begin. We just have to seize it, right? That isn't a thing, so let's reposition slightly. Alright, let's fight. Alright, we are going to be swarmed by enemies. How strong is your defense? Not strong. We need to give you all the XP we can. These enemies will swarm you and chop you down if I'm not careful. Sheesh. We've got healing, so we'll get some people healing us. How much can we hurt these people right here? That's a question I would like to have answered. 9, 7. Okay. Let's step up into the thicket here. Oh, wow. What about a hand axe? Yeah, hand axe. You will not kill him, and you will leave him quite weakened. Let's go. What if I use the longbow? Stay back a little further. It's likely to result in victory. Come on. There we go. Alright, let's see what we have here. Out of range. Out of range. Out of range. Out of range. One person can reach an attack. Yep, that's literally the whole thing. Alright. Joffrey, my man. Let's sweep in and do the job. Alright, let's step into the bushes there and begin. Oh, allies everywhere. Just a lot of wasted XP. Hey, bruv. The fight in the cave, getting out of there, went pretty well. Didn't really have any upsets. Had a couple of bad level ups on Nephany, and one pretty good one at the end. And now we sadly are falling into a trap and having our army move against the Duke of Felleray, while he himself is most likely plotting on headed to the capital to attack the Queen while the majority of our army's away. Fun, fun, fun. But yeah, we have a whole army of kind of NPCs here, which are stealing our XP, but there's so many enemies, and they said they don't want us to kill them all, they want us to just take the fortress and spare as many of the rebels as possible. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that or not. Yeah, there definitely some people on our side are going to go down. But I only really care about Astrid, and of course, Kieran and Joffrey have to live because they're required units that I was forced to bring, so. But Astrid is going to spend lots of time sniping people. That's kind of what she does. Let's see if we can maybe save this bow user. She's not going to be able to double attack that guy? That is unfortunate. What about this guy? Is your speed that slow? That is disappointing. Disappointing. Oh, then we won't worry about that. We'll just take him out nice and easy. Alright, here we go. Astrid is another character I like a lot. She's actually one of my very favorite bow users, but she starts off at low level, which doesn't help her situation. But as you can see, she's got 18 levels to go, and her stats are pretty solid already. They're doing pretty well. If she levels up decently, which she levels up quickly because of her Paragon skill, she gets double XP, and usually her stat growths are pretty solid, so I'm hopeful that she will turn out quite well. We'll see. I'm trying to give her a lot of XP in here. And let's see if Joffrey can survive the insanity that's about to occur. Yeah, luck is a useful stat. Almost no one caps it, but it's good. It helps on a lot of different things. Your avoidance of enemy crits, your crit rate, evasion rates, lots of stuff. Alright, let's see if we can't have Kieran take care of this gentleman. We can indeed. Let's have him continue with his... Yeah. Alright. Excellent. Doesn't get much XP though, of course. Alright. We have a couple of healers on our allied side, so they should heal some of our injured units. All right, get that schoolwork done, man. Yeah, I mentioned at the beginning of the stream. Hey, welcome, Copperpog. I mentioned at the beginning of the stream that normally I would be keeping my schedule and streaming later tonight, but I've got some work scheduling stuff that's kind of complicated that's going on right now, so I'll probably be working later tonight when I would normally be streaming, so figured I would do my stream earlier in the day as I had time. Yeah. I mean, I've played every Western released Fire Emblem game, including the most recent Three Houses, and I enjoy them. But there is something to be said for this, for the older style of game where there is no grinding, there is no you can romance everyone. It's not a romance simulator, all that stuff. So. Well, I will say Three Houses is a bit less of a dating sim than, like, the Revelations in those. Like, man, that was actually the hardest decisions I had in Fire Emblem Revelations were, like, who do I want to romance? And it's like, that's not what I'm into Fire Emblem for. But when you give me the choice and give me 5 million choices, it makes it hard for me to... hard for me to ignore it. Yeah, I think I like Path of Radiance a little better, but Radiant Dawn and Path of Radiance are just both really great. I really like them a lot. And the Game Boy Advance ones are really good too. With Roy and Lynn and Hector and Eliwood, those people. Though, and then there's the one with Ephraim and what's her name? The Sacred Stones. Fire Emblem Sacred Stones was the first one where you could grind. So. Alright, let's see. All right. This level is nice, kind of nice and relaxing because I'm not the only character I care about in this level is Astrid, and I'm gonna give her some XP, but I'm mostly just trying to get through this level to get back to Alencia, so... So sue me. Let's see here. So let's move on up. I transferred a save from Path of Radiance, and the way the transfer works, just so that you're aware, is that if you get a character to max level in that game, and they cap a stat, then when you transfer that save in Radiant Dawn, they will start with 2 higher in that stat. And if it's like hit points, if you cap hit points, then they start with 5 higher base hit points. And so it doesn't change their stat caps, like they just are going to hit those stat caps earlier or are more likely to hit them than they would have otherwise. So it gives them a little bit of a starting edge, but it doesn't change their like potential power. So I enjoy it quite a bit. And Astrid is I mean, in Path of Radiance, she capped 6 stats without me, like, fidgeting. Like, I wasn't really doing save scumming or anything. She capped, like, 6 stats. And so she has a lot better starting stats. Her only issue in this game is low usage, and she starts at low level. So that's why I'm not agonizing over it. But it does make her usable, and I like her as a character, even though she's pretty weak if you don't baby her a bit. Yes, low usage and low level. That is a curse several characters face in this game. Oh. And what might those issues be? Actually, her stats, there's actually, if you go on, like, say, Serena's Forest, the Fire Emblem fan site, you'll see that her stats actually aren't, like, her average stats, if you actually manage to cap her, are essentially the same. They're comparable with the other paladins. And she hits those caps. She levels faster because of Paragon, so yeah. Well, no. The only good paladins, in my opinion, are really, like, the only reliably good paladins, in my opinion, are Joffrey and Titania. I'm probably forgetting somebody, but those are the ones that come to mind. But I will say, Fire Emblem has never been a game, like, it's never been a game where you have to use certain characters to win. It's not that hard. The permadeath thing can make things a bit stressful at times, but you don't have to, you can win the game with any characters. So, go with the ones you like. That's my opinion. And if that gives you extra challenge, then isn't that a win? Ah, somebody's gifting me a steel blade. I mean, it's like, for example, Rolf is a very good archer. Statistically, just in every way, he's a very good archer. I don't like Rolf, though, so I don't really use him. And nothing against people who do use him. If you like Rolf, go ahead. But, yeah, that's not what I'm interested in. 70% chance. I'm not a fan of that. And yeah, let's see here. I mean, we've all had playthroughs where a character did extremely poorly. I've had playthroughs where Nephany rolled, like, just got bad RNG and got terrible level ups and died. But in most of my playthroughs, Nephany is a goddess of death. And Rolf, I've only used him myself once, but statistically speaking, if you go by the averages on a lot of the aggregate fan sites where they have the information from tons of playthroughs, he's just as good as any other archer that you find in the game. I mean, if you're comparing any of these normal characters to things like Nyla and Tibarn and Gifka and those people, then they're all trash. What do you expect? And I will say hard mode on Radiant Dawn is not exactly Fire Emblem. It's a different game. And the reason I say that is the weapon triangle doesn't exist, which, okay, there are some Fire Emblem games that don't have a weapon triangle, but generally speaking, most do. So, in my opinion, you're changing a major part of the game when you go on hard mode. So, in your opinion, Rengor, who is name me some good units that aren't Ike or Royalty? I mean, Volug is very, very useful in Part 1, right? He's extremely strong for that area of the game. Right. I mean, I would say a healer is always useful. Unless you're... I would say in Path of Radiance, healers were less useful. Well, depending if you were doing like a hard mode playthrough solo Ike, then healers became utterly irrelevant. I mean, of course solo, but if you were doing a hard mode playthrough with just a couple of characters, healing becomes irrelevant because you no longer get hurt. But yeah. Let's see here. Let's see if we can hit this person. Not quite enough. It's irritating. She really needs to level up. Alright, let's see if this is a good level up. Or not. Yeah, that's always the risk. Mia is amazing. Mia is my favorite swordmaster. Just she always is. She's quite good. My biggest disappointment with Radiant Dawn was actually Ike's animations. I felt his promoted animations in Path of Radiance were phenomenal. Just like everything was crisp and it felt really good. And then he just seemed wrong in Radiant Dawn. It made me sad. Oh, just out of curiosity, I'm guessing that since I'm here, we're talking primarily about Radiant Dawn. When you say Nephany is trash, you're meaning for this game in particular? Or are you also including Path of Radiance in that? Oh boy, that's unpleasant. That's interesting. Because, yeah, I feel extremely differently about Nephany. And I know that on, like, she's one of the very few, and there's obviously bias in stuff like this, but she's one of the very few characters that I see pretty much across the board on character facts rated as like 9.5 or 10 out of 10. With the caveat mentioned every time that she could get RNG screwed. But oh man. I didn't see anybody rate Vika above Gifka. That would be pretty strange. I mean, I'm not talking about a single, like, Joe over from the corner rated Nephany 10 out of 10, and I looked at just Joe's, right? But again, we are free to have different opinions. If we all had the same opinion, there wouldn't be any discussion, and that would be quite boring, to be honest. Let's see just how much they're gonna maul our friend here. Probably a lot. I'm excited to see if he survives. Oh man. I mean, I'm sure there are people that do that. I can tell you that, actually. I can say that there are people that love her for that reason. Absolutely. And if you ask me, her aesthetic, her style, is part of why I like her. Absolutely. Right? I'm not going to deny that. But if you think the reason that I think she's good is that she is waifu, I'm going to say that's bullshit. Right? Just straight up. Because that's not why. I use her... there's plenty of playthroughs I've done of Path of Radiance where I use essentially Ike, Titania, Mia, and Nephany as basically the 4 units I use, besides whoever I have to use for a level, and like a Heron, right, Racin. But you give her Vantage and she comes with Wrath, and in Path of Radiance, Wrath, when you're below half health instead of 30% health, means 50% increased crit chance. And combined with her tendency for leveling up, she usually takes little damage from either magic or physical and slaughters people. So, yeah, like, she works. I mean, Kieran is fine, but yes, I am. That's what I'm going to say. I will admit, though, see, there's a reason. The big reason for that is I don't like axe wielders much, with the exception being Hector. Hector, I like a lot. But axe wielders in general, I find that their accuracy leaves a lot to be desired. Most of them don't get enough skill. Kieran does get good skill, but no, I don't actually like Kieran much. And he's a good character. He's solid. Comparable, I'd say, to Nephany. But if you tell me that he's absolutely better than Nephany, I don't agree. Alright, let's see what I've got here. All these people coming for Joffrey. Kind of annoying. There we go. That's what I was hoping for. I will say, both paladins and halberdiers or whatever tend to have a similar issue. Soldiers and things, which is that their stats, none of them are extreme. Their stat caps are all rather mid-line, or at least the stats they tend to get, rather. Stat caps is maybe a bit premature, which they have specialties and they work very well in those. But, for example, you compare the damage output they have with a berserker like Largo, and it's not great. But Largo is fragile like a paper tiger, so he dies really easy. Anyway, paladins and soldiers and things are useful. I find them useful units, but I think that with the proper use of what skills you feed onto a unit, you can make most any unit really pretty solid. I really do want to kill these guys. Let's move up here. What are the damage they can do? 27. Oh, they will maul Joffrey, and he's on the low end of his... He's at worst on his biorhythm. Okay. Okay. Fine. Ah, fair point, fair point. I wasn't paying attention. Direct. Target. Kill. Alright. Here's what I will say, and this is which Fire Emblem games have I played? Every single one released in the West. But if they move near him, they should attack him, right? I admit to being distracted. Well, if they surround him, then he'll only be able to kill one of them rather than kill Joffrey. So, I guess. But I am going to lose more units that way, sadly. I see you are correct. Yeah. I'm gonna get mobbed by all the catapults. It's irritating a bit. I mean, here's the thing, right? When I'm doing challenge runs, like I was doing for Path of Radiance, if I was doing a challenge run, then I would look at the statistically, like absolutely who is superior in all facets, so that I would have the highest chance of success. But if I'm talking about just a playthrough that I'm doing for my own enjoyment, right, I'm going to use characters I like, that I like the aesthetic of, that I like the personality of, that are viable, and rather than they are the most overpowered character, right? I'm not sure how it's a different thing. Is there a reason why playing the game with the characters you like, which can beat the game, and again, don't take a ridiculous amount of extra effort. It's not like I'm spending 10 extra hours in order to make a character viable. Why that's bad for a normal playthrough? I mean, look at viability for a second. If I say a character is viable, right? If that's all I'm saying, that it's viable, that means I can beat the game with it. In which case, if that's all I was claiming, that counts for every single character in, like, not every character, but most every character in pretty much every Fire Emblem game. There is no character I've run into in this game that I'm like, well, this one, there's no way I can beat the character with that game, or beat the game with that character. Now, if you ask me which character is the best, that's a different discussion. And then there's so many layers and flavors, and it starts to be like, oh, do you run into more enemies of this type, right? If you have a high resistance character that tends to get that high resistance, and you run into a lot of casters in that arc of the game, then that character has better survivability. Maybe they're not better at killing, but there's a lot of factors that start to come into play. This is a bit irritating.
Irritating.
I mean, the easiest way, for example, if you're doing a normal playthrough of Path of Radiance, I would tell you play any character you want. Like, just see which characters resonate with you and play. Just learn the mechanics, the basic mechanics of the game, and you'll be good to go. But if you're asking me, well, I want to do hard mode, what's the easiest way to do hard mode? I would tell you, my honest opinion is the easiest way to do hard mode is use pretty much only Ike. Use a couple of other characters a little bit if you want, unless you're doing an Ike-only challenge, but pretty much just use Ike. He will beat the game for you. You just have to be a little careful about weapon durability in Part 1, and etc., but especially if you're using all the various stat-up items on him, he'll cap his stats, and if he caps his stats and has Aether, the only place you could possibly lose is the very final battle and the Black Knight, and you probably won't. The reason it works, right, is that Ike has Aether. I mean, of course, you can do Resolve, and you can do a combination of skills that's basically going to be better, more reliable than Aether, but the Aether skill is why he can solo it pretty easily. And you're right, the game is not hard. Let's see, did we... Wait a minute. Ah, you're over there. I wondered where you went. Let's do order Rome and take care of this. Yeah, Resolve is only there for a little bit. That's true enough. Uh-huh. So, you're saying Ina is a good character? Or are you saying Ina, even as a bad character, with Resolve, can solo the final two maps? Is that what you're saying? Okay. Yeah, that's true. Ouch. Definitely need to use a concoction. Now that's strange that you say that she can damage Ashnard. You're talking about on the hardest difficulty mode she can damage Ashnard? Which is odd because I know Nasir can't. And I thought Ina and Nasir had the same weapon. Ah, see, I wasn't aware that Nasir made, or that that Resolve made you able to damage through the goddess armor. I mean, I have the save. I can load it back up. I did beat the game just a month ago. Because he's supposed to have, and I'll have to double check this, but he's supposed to have goddess armor like the Black Knight, because the Black Knight can't be damaged by anyone. Like, it doesn't matter what your attack is, you have to have a goddess-blessed weapon like Ragnell to actually hurt him, or be like the Royal Lagoose Claws. I mean, I'm going to keep streaming. I'll check it out later, but it's not that big of a deal to me offhand. It's just I'm curious because I seem to be hearing different things from you, right? Like, first of all, we talk about character viability, And then you talk about how any skill can be, like any character, basically, can be put on a particular set of overpowered skills and do amazing things. Which seems to kind of almost contradict the whole idea that some character is more viable than others. Because, again, we're talking about, are they able to complete the content? Are they usable without a huge amount of work? And apparently, with the right skills, pretty much anybody is. So it seems strange to be it seems strange that that's something that you're mentioning, right? Right. My question is, if even on Maniac, the hardest difficulty mode, I can beat the final map with the worst character in the game, right? Not the worst character in the game, but one of the ones who's not very good. Then why, like that's where, and I think we're fighting over semantics here, because I've latched onto viability, and maybe you mean something else. Like you're saying that this character has a higher potential, or that character has a lower potential, right? I mean, I'll say this. I don't... one of the reasons that I consider Ike a good character, right? You say that Ike isn't good. Or I think you said Ike was good, but not amazing. One of the reasons I consider Ike a solid character is his stat caps, also his skills, and combined his usage, his availability, and he tends to cap, in most playthroughs, 4 of his stats. Which is, most characters don't do that. Most of the characters in Path of Radiance, if you don't give them items, or if you don't like do save state, load state, or like reloading the level if you're on the actual console, they don't cap that many stats. They'll cap 2, maybe 3, but most don't cap 4 or more. So all of those combined, to me, and also like the fact that Ike does very well in the actual playthrough, mean that he's a really good character. Is he the best character in the game? No. I don't think so. I mean, it's not about endgame. Ike is good all the way through. I don't... Like, that's my thing. In my experience, playing through the game, admittedly, less than 10 times. I have played through Path of Radiance, like, 8 times, probably. I have... You're always forced to use Ike, right? I have never had an issue where he was difficult to use or it felt like a burden to use him. He's always been very, very good for me. I mean, I find him in the early game. I'm struggling to remember units that are just far and away better, unless you're talking about, like, Titania, who's going to steal your XP, or... I mean, there are better units in the early game, but Ike is not bad in the early game, either. Again, there's always going to be some bias. Oscar? Here's the thing, though. I have used Oscar 3 times, only in 3 playthroughs. And in 2 out of those 3 playthroughs, he was RNG screwed. Like, I'll admit, it wasn't the best Oscar. In one of them, he was amazing. But in the other 2, man, he was trash. He was a trash Oscar. He was doubling almost nothing, really suffering, right? And that's kind of my point, is that if I want to beat the game 10 times, right, and use the same characters to test out which ones are going to be, like, doing good all the time, or more reliably, that's different. But most people play the game through one time. I mean, maybe twice. And if that's all you're going to play through, then if I was making a tier list, I would make a tier list based on characters that don't get RNG screwed. That's why I wouldn't put Nephany on the high tier list, even though most people that I've read do. But I would say Mia usually does her job really well. So I would put Mia pretty high on a tier list because, yeah, she's fragile, but she's a swordmaster, and she has really high luck, tends to crit well, and avoid well. So I would say that she's unlikely to be RNG screwed. I'm not saying Oscar's bad. Right? That's not my point. I'm saying that you're saying Oscar is an amazing character. I'm not trying to say he's not. What I'm trying to say is that, in my experience, so it is anecdotal, Oscar wasn't amazing, and Ike has always been. So, I'm not trying to say that Ike is better than Oscar. I'm saying that, in my experience, he has been better for me. So that's what makes it hard for me to say, to just agree with you and be like, well, yeah, I mean, Oscar is better than Ike. Because he hasn't been for me, right? I'm not saying that Oscar's a bad character, you shouldn't use him. I mean, I've looked at the statistics. Oscar tends to be, like, he's available from the first chapter, and he tends to be really good throughout most of the game, in most people's experiences. I've looked at that data, and I can believe it. It just hasn't been the case for me. So that's why I'm not saying he's bad. I'm simply also not saying he's better than Ike, because that seems to be kind of debatable to me. It seems not true as much as I would like it to be. I mean, admittedly, when I say Nephany is better than Kieran, that is flavored by my experience. I admit, Kieran is solid. He's quite solid. And with the right skills, really good. I think Nephany is a goddess of death. And that's not because I think she's a waifu. I think she is legitimately really good. But it was more to be contentious that I said she's better than Kieran. I don't have enough experience with Kieran to say that for sure. And I think it's still a little subjective. But I just like Nephany a lot, and I know that she can be really quite good, and has been for me, right? So... But as I said, I wouldn't put her on top tier list if I actually sat down to make one, because I know she gets RNG screwed, right? So it's not fair. Like, I know that I'd say like 50% of the time you would put investment into her and she would turn out terrible. And the other 50% of the time she would kill everything that was in her way, right? I actually, this should be a little bit of a caveat for you. I don't forge weapons typically. I do sometimes do that, but I rarely forge weapons before I have the availability to do silver weapons. That's not the best thing to do. I'm not saying it's the right thing. It's just what I do. So when I say Nephany is good and I enjoy using her, that's not because I forged her a weapon. That's just because it is. Every level, once I get the ability to forge silver weapons, I am forging a level with max crit, damage, accuracy, and everything else every turn, or every map, because I can forge one, and that costs 20,000 or so gold every single time. And so it's a matter of, so in order to let that happen, because I enjoy that, right? It's not the most efficient way to play the game, but because I enjoy making those super powerful weapons, I save most of my money. All right, let's try and get in and finish this off now. So mounted is better in certain scenarios and worse in others. I would say that that is better. But if you say that axe is better than lance, that's just a matter of disagreement. I disagree. I think all three weapon types have their pros and cons. It depends on what you're facing. Now, you may say weapon triangle doesn't matter, but it's also about the base accuracy and base damage of the weapons and all of that. Availability of special weapons, etc. So, and you also have to remember, I like Titania a lot, so I use, most of my good axes go to Titania, which leaves, a bit of a conflict there if I'm trying to use special axes for Kieran. Yeah. Why is he running towards that door? You do remember I have said that my stating Nephany was better than Kieran was mostly, to kind of mess with you because I like her better, and I admitted I don't have enough experience with Kieran. I barely have used him in playthroughs, and the stats in the end are different, but not different enough to show me clear dominance, right? So I'm not saying Nephany better than Kieran, really. I'm saying I like her better, and I think she is a solid unit, not a trash unit, as you claimed. That's all. Because from my understanding, you're saying Kieran is a god-tier amazing unit, and Nephany is trash. And I think that assessment is really far off the mark. As to which one is better, I really don't have the expertise to tell you. I can say that I really enjoy using Nephany, and she kicks ass in my games. But I haven't played with Kieran enough, but I have seen his stats, and I know that he is good. He probably would be a badass in most games. Right. If this was an important discussion, right? I do not want to minimize anything that you're saying, right? You have a lot of data. You're making good points. If this was an important discussion, then analyzing in the minutiae would be very valuable, right? If I was trying to, for example, go through an incredibly difficult playthrough for some reason, that I could only invest in 3 characters, and I needed to find out which 3 were going to have the availability, the viability, everything, so that I was not losing anything. Then I would look at all of your data, and I'd be probably, I might come in the end to say, oh yeah, well, definitely I'm going for the amazing unit that is Kieran over Nephany. But we're talking about a video game I can beat with either character. Easily.
Not one step backward. Be strong. The Duke will soon arrive with reinforcements.
No, he won't.
Stand strong a little longer. Stand firm for the revolution.
I mean, I've played games before where, for example, one of my favorite games of all time, Baldur's Gate 2, Shadows of Am. Okay, that game, if you turn it up to the absolutely highest difficulty level, there starts to be... the game mechanics tear at the edges, alright? The reason why is certain, 80% of the classes that you can choose to create your character as become trash. They can't complete the game. They cannot work. But also, you have to use kind of super power gamey strategies to have any chance of clearing the game. And if that's appealing to you, more power to you. Go for it, right? But honestly, that game in particular, okay, so it's a bit of a different scenario, is based on Dungeons & Dragons 2nd Edition. And on the super hardest difficulty modes that they have, it isn't Dungeons and Dragons 2nd Edition or even close anymore. The core rules, the base difficulty, or like one notch above, is core rules of D&D. But if you take it up to the really high difficulty, it bears almost no resemblance to D&D anymore, rules-wise. Now again, that's a video game based upon a tabletop role-playing game, so that's a different scenario. But I bring that up to say that often when you take things to the extreme difficulties, the game is not originally designed around that balance, so you're right, most characters would not be viable in there. And so if you have 5 characters out of your roster of 40 who are really viable and work extremely well in that scenario, oh, nice, double crit, Astrid, then those characters definitely, I would say, are better characters. They are more optimal character choices. So if that's your experience, then I bow to that greater experience and wisdom. I will not debate that. At the same time, I also would say to anybody looking to play the game, just like to have fun and play Fire Emblem, that most times your character choices don't matter. It's a rather unnecessary thing to agonize over in most scenarios. Yeah, I can see where you're coming from. Like, 3 houses... I mean, honestly, any Fire Emblem game where they let you grind every single character in the game to max level and often multi-class to get all sorts of abilities and create anything, yeah, those games are not... That's a totally different world that they're in at that point. Right. And so, like I say, on the harder mode, you have to make more important choices. I admit, I have only played through 3 houses. I had just started a couple of weeks ago my second playthrough, because I've only done one of the 4 story things. I think it's 4 offhand. I'm trying to remember. Anyway, so I'm going to choose a different house and do different stuff this time. But I've only played through on normal at this point, so have limited experience there. We have to hold out. The Duke is on his way. No, he's not. We'll be heroes, adored and showered with riches. Really? Are you that naive? I think you are. Whew. In fairness, I will say if you're not playing... if you're playing on normal mode, for example, every Fire Emblem game I've played has been easy, except there were a couple of NES ones that I tried with fan translations from early on, NES or SNES, I'm trying to remember, that were pretty hard. Like, there were some unfair levels where you're like, wait, what happened? But sometimes it's a question of whether that's like legitimate difficulty or whether it's just bad game balance, as happens sometimes. Not certain. Received vulnerary. Yeah, pretty much. Oh, man. Let's see what we've got here. Irritating. And I'll say, like, aesthetically, one of the reasons why I haven't given Kieran as many fair shakes as he probably deserves comes down to I just really like Titania a lot, And I'm a kind of person that I tend to, in a playthrough, only use a single character of a certain type. So if we're talking a paladin type character, I'm just going to pick one that I really like, and that is the paladin I focus on, right? Same for like sword masters and whatever. And that's why I have had both played Zehark and Mia, but I haven't really used Lucia after I looked at kind of her stats and things, and I was like, that doesn't seem like it would work well. Stefan, I love Stefan, but my issue with Stefan in Path of Radiance is his luck is so low, and eventually, I did use one playthrough with him, and at first he's super strong, super strong, but then later his luck stats don't go up, really, and so what happens is he has a hard time critting, which is my whole point with Swordmasters, plus he also doesn't evade things, because luck is tied into your evasion, and so he gets hit, and he doesn't crit as much. And so that made him kind of disappointing. He was great when you get him, and for like the next 5 or 6 chapters, maybe even close to 10 chapters. But then near the end game, he just kind of peters out for me.
Rebel forces, I am Joffrey, commander of the Royal Knights of Crimea. Lay down your weapons and submit to the rule of law. Further resistance is futile. Her Majesty the Queen promises leniency and means you no harm. Listen to me. You must yield.
Tch, what nonsense is this? Do you take us for idiots?
Yes, we do.
Our reinforcements will arrive shortly, and your fate will be sealed. Death to the tyrant and her lapdogs. The Queen lives to serve you. Why can't you see that?
Yep. So I'm taking it most of your experience with the game is you play the Japanese version, right? I see. Let's kill this guy. I mean, I think Stefan is the coolest sword master. And I think you can deal with them on pretty much... Most of them work for what you do. I don't know why your experience with Stefan is so different from mine, because for me, like until around 24 or so, I think it's about 24, he was great. Still not critting as much as I would like, but he was great. But then after that, like he was surviving, but taking a lot of damage. He just wasn't evading hits anymore. See, and one of the things I love about Mia, because this is the story of Mia for me, because she tends to have the highest luck of any of the Swordmasters in Path of Radiance, is she evades almost every attack. Especially if they don't have weapon triangle advantage. If they're not a lance wielder, she basically evades them all, in my experience. And then she crits them and kills them. Like, now some people she can't hurt much because their defense is too high, and you know, if you get RNG screwed with her strength, you could be in real trouble, combined with sword's low damage. But she's really solid at taking out enemies that are low defense, and most guys can't hit her either way.
Duke Ludveck, where are our reinforcements?
All right. Alright, send the Wodao in. I mean, all I can tell you, and like I don't deny that female swordmaster having the lower strength cap it sucks, right? It sucks. I am looking forward to getting to Mia in this game, especially because I transferred the save, so her initial stats will be better, like better in like 5 different stats. So I'm very much looking forward to that. And the game does work against Swordmasters a bit in Path of Radiance, but I use my Mia more offensively. I give her Gamble, and that doesn't proc when she's being attacked, of course, but with the high accuracy of crits plus Forged Swords, she's able to have like an 80% hit rate and like a 70% crit rate double attacking. And so that means that she's pretty much guaranteed to crit on most enemies, and so as long as they don't attack heavy armor, she just slaughters people. Probably the advantage Wrath thing is better most of the time. It's a really solid combo. But, yeah, I just did not have that... Let's kill this guy here. I didn't have a real problem with her, right? She worked really well. Zihark is more reliable, I would say, if like you're looking for less likely to be RNG screwed. And if you don't care for either of them, I mean, you want to just make sure you have a solid unit that is going to work, I would say Stefan is probably just your safest bet, right? It's just his luck doesn't help me much. So, welcome, Rengoa, to following. But yeah, I think that there's definitely, I mean, there's going to be bias no matter what, right? There's characters that you like, or you like their weapon type, or you like their aesthetic, you like their waifu-ness, or their husbando-ness, or whatever, and you're like, okay, I'm going to put my investment into this character. And I do try my best. Like, if we're having this discussion, I try my best to acknowledge if I have some of that going on. And I do have some of that going on, like I said, with Nephany a little bit, not much. But it also is valid, like, asking what kind of what kind of question are you asking, right? When we're comparing characters, am I saying this character is better? Well, I would hesitate to make a tier list myself, just because I would have to play through the game, in my opinion, quite a few more times, right? With different parties every time to try to, like, see how they work in different scenarios. It would be to make it, like, even close to objective would be so laborious that I think it would take all the fun out of it for me. So, I mean, I always take tier lists with a grain of salt.
Sir, the rebels have been routed. Some managed to escape, but most have surrendered their weapons.
Yeah, and here comes the trap finding.
General Joffrey, no sign of the Felleray regulars, is there?
No. This was clearly a ruse. Duke Felleray's main force is most likely en route to the capital.
But how? Quickly, rally the troops. We must return to Melior at once.
Don't panic. They want us to act rashly. Settle down. We have contingencies in place. Light the flares to notify the capital.
Move, man! Scout Commander!
It's very likely we'll be ambushed on the way back to the capital. Don't let anything escape your notice. We may need an alternate route back to the capital. Send some men out to investigate the old highway.
Those of you who remain, disarm the prisoners and tend the wounded. Let's move, everyone! Well, look at that. Someone's launched a flare. And from Felleray of all places.
The emergency signal from Joffrey. As I suspected, the rebels were just a decoy. Sir Har, thank you for your assistance.
Hey, wait. Are you telling me that you knew about this all along?
We knew that the Duke was up to no good, but if we had known about the decoys, we wouldn't have sent the Royal Knights to Castle Felleray. I suppose I'm just surprised that Lord Ludveck, the supposed epitome of nobility, would so willingly sacrifice his followers.
You know, you play a pretty deep game, woman.
We all do, wouldn't you say? Her Majesty is at Fort Alpea. We're due to hear from her at any moment. I'll go check on that.
Sharp as a tack, aren't we? I think I'll excuse myself then.
Actually, there's one more thing. I want you to wait here a little longer. If all goes as planned, I'll be back shortly with your payment. Then you may do as you wish.
And if all doesn't go as planned?
Then set out for Fort Alpea and alert the Queen. I'll also send a messenger to Joffrey. Thank you.
Very well. Time for a nap.
Yeah, I would definitely say Rolf takes more investment than Shinon, and even though he has greater availability in Path of Radiance, he is disappointing to me. Whereas I find actually in Path of Radiance, I wouldn't dare to say about here, but in Path of Radiance, Astrid for me has always worked well. If you can keep her alive a couple of levels, give her some XP, she levels very quickly, tends to cap her stats, though her stat caps are not amazing, but very soon she becomes a really solid archer. But do I think she's a better archer than Shinon or Gatry? I mean, Shinon or Gatry. Gatry, yes, Gatry, best archer in game. Shinon or Rolf? I don't think so. I think she's comparable, and for me, takes less effort and investment. It's strange, but that's just how it seems to me. Well, Har is actually an ancestor from another dimension of Solid Snake, so that's why he sounds like that.
Well, any news from Queen Elincia?
What? How?
You... Yes, me. I was very hurt by how cruelly you manipulated me, my lady, and I am not easily wounded.
Lord Ludveck, how did you...
My lady, I am certain to know of any and all facts that concern your activities, my dear, lovely Lucia. Oh yes, it was quite some time ago that I was informed of both this place and your network of shadowy assistants.
I would like to know one more thing, something only you are aware of, where the Queen is currently hiding. Good luck finding that out.
Perhaps it's a little place called Alpea?
All that foolishness,
The ruses, the informers, the secret flight from the palace. All that effort wasted.
Is that so?
I can see that my lady still retains secrets. Would it trouble you so much to tell them to me?
To you, Lord Ludveck, I'm afraid there is nothing to tell.
Lady Lucia, I'm done with these games. You'll tell me whatever I wish to know, but I believe I already know your secret.
We shall see.
All right. That's the end of that chapter. I'm going to get a drink of water. Actually, I'm going to take 5 minutes. I'm going to make a cup of tea, and then I'll come back, and we will finish this part. Yeah. I'm very much looking forward to this. Elincia is another character I absolutely love, and I capped a bunch of her stats before transferring her over, and so she should be pretty good. I wish I had a full guard for her, so archers were not a danger. I'll have to take a double check, but I think she'll have her brave sword, her unbreakable brave sword in this level. And if so, that will make me much happier. So I will be back in just a couple of minutes. Oh, hey bots, how's it going? All right, see you later, Rengor. Hope you have a good day. All right. We are back. I have my cup of tea, and we are ready to continue.
Having anticipated Queen Alincia's attack, the majority of Duke Ludveck's forces left Felleray. The troops stationed at Castle Felleray were merely the bait with which to lure Joffrey and his troops away from Melior. In Joffrey's absence, Ludveck's objective is nothing less than to take the royal palace, and Queen Alincia with it. Lucia, foreseeing a possible attack on the capital, arranged for Queen Alincia and Princess
Tasty.
Leanne to be secretly moved to Fort Alpia. Yet Lucia herself is unable to evade Duke Ludveck's agents. She is captured in the dead of night while attempting to contact an informant. Queen Alincia receives the sad news the next morning.
Ah, Ludveck. So noble. Endgame. Alincia's Gambit. So, we're guessing that flare sent up from Joffrey's troops means Ludveck plans to come for your majesty. He's probably marching his troops toward this fortress as we speak. Since it's come to this, I'd like to stick around and help. Let me know if you need me.
I see. Thank you ever so much, Sir Har. I have one more question. What about Lucia? Have you heard from her? Is she safe?
We found a man's body in the village safe house. We believe he was her messenger. We also found this.
No, this is Lucia's hair. But how?
Well, we assume that Ludveck infiltrated her network of spies and captured her. This is his way of letting us know. It also means she's still alive, which means we can still save her. Queen Alincia, it's up to you to determine the best course of action.
Yes. I know. Royal Guards, arm yourselves and prepare to meet the rebel forces in battle. I will be commanding you personally.
Your Majesty, but you are the Queen. It's much too dangerous. Please assign a subordinate to this duty.
I will not. It is my indecision that has allowed the rebellion to come this far. I refuse to run from this problem any longer. Lucia, I'm sorry. Somehow, I promise you, I will save you. Princess Leanne, Sir Lucci, this fortress will soon be under siege.
What?
Somehow the enemy has found out that I am hiding here. My two fine friends. You must escape. I sing and help Queen Alincia. No, under no circumstances. I won't allow any such thing. I like help Queen Alincia.
Now, when my lady makes up her mind, nothing in Tellius can sway her. And me, I'm sure you wouldn't mind having these old bones on the battlefield, hmm?
Sir Lucci, honestly, I couldn't.
Wait until you see me. Even at my age, I'll be one step ahead of those freshly hatched whippersnappers.
Very well. I must prepare as well. I had hoped this day would never come. Amiti, the treasured blade of House Crimea, will awaken from its long slumber.
It hasn't slumbered that long, I'm just saying. You used it in the war against Ashnard, so not that long ago. Ah. All right. We're giving Alincia all the things she needs. I really would love to buy all of that, but magically or rather, I don't have that money. Ooh, a steel knife. Much more useful. Alright, let's go ahead and see what we have. Oh man, Brahm is not skilled with weapons. Alright. So, let's see what we can see. Support. Oh boy. That's the only one we can do, so let's set it up. They're a little bit tougher when they're near one another. Un momento. Okay, cool. Alright, let's see. So I no longer need the slim sword, because, oh, wow, this is not the Amity that we had. Oh, wow. Wow, wow, wow. The Amity that you have in Path of Radiance had an MT of 8. This has 15 with a 90 accuracy. So that's 13 higher than that slim sword. She will be a goddess of death. She will bring the light to these unbelievers. Okay. Then let's go ahead and get rid of that. We're good there. So let's see, do we have... It's so sad. Wish we had something more. Alright, let's get her a knife. And Brahm, can we get you a healing item of some kind? Nefany needs weapons. Alright, Iron Great Lance, Killer Lance, Javelin, Steel Lance. Yup. Alright, let's give the Javelin away. And, take another Steel Lance. Why not? Good. Good. What do you have, Har? Let's make sure Har has plenty of weaponry. Okay, and let's give her a vulnerary as well. And we'll deploy everyone, I think, for this one. Because of course we will. Make no mistake. I really wish I could protect her from arrows.
The battle will begin soon. I want both of you to promise me that you will fall back if in danger. Understood?
Fall back, Your Majesty. No one can hold a candle to the speed at which the Raven tribe retreats.
That's a relief.
Reporting, sir. Fort Alpea's gate is sealed, and they are readying their defenses. I see. Lady Lucia must have arranged some way to warn the Queen. But alas, even if they were to have all the energy and luck in the world, the Royal Knights wouldn't arrive for 2 days. In any case, there's no way we can lose, considering that we have a card which has yet to be put into the game.
Are you going to threaten to execute Lucia?
Your Majesty, dire news! The rear gate is open and the rebel army is storming in! What? How could this happen? I think you'll understand once you question this man. You guard the inner garden, correct?
You scum! You helped the rebel army, didn't you? Yes, I did. I did it because it was the best thing for the future of this country. Those Dane murderers killed my entire family, and now the Queen bows down and wags her tail at them. It's a disgrace. Silence! You're the traitor here. Prepare to die.
Wait. Killing this man will do nothing to help our situation. We have to halt Ludveck and his men. They're already inside. I'm going out there too.
Mordecai will fight for you, Queen Elincia.
You can count on me, Your Majesty.
Queen Elincia, Crimea needs you more than anything, and I reckon you could use my help.
Oh man, so many voices, one after another. Keep switching.
My homeland being ruled by a snobby stiff like Ludveck? Please, I don't think so.
Your Majesty, we would give our lives for our queen. Allow us to fight.
Thank you, everyone. I am indeed the Queen of Crimea, and a queen does not hide. Our enemies are fellow citizens of Crimea, but we can no longer sit idle as they destroy the harmony of our nation.
Could our situation be any better? Just look at these fragile defenses, as fragile as the Queen's reign. Oh, the Queen's taken command? I expected her to abandon her people, turn tail, and run for the hills.
I'm not sure how he expected that. She went and recovered her nation after Dane had taken it. Where were you, Ludveck? Hiding in your castle? Hiding in other places because your castle was no longer yours? I don't know. You spineless, pathetic... Ugh. How preciously naive. We shall have to teach her that being overly optimistic can be fatal. Oh, really? I think she's about to bring down the hammer of judgment on your ass. That's what I think. Alright. So, we can either defeat the boss or defend for 15 turns. There's a lot of enemies. But we have a few things that can help. So... we need to pull back and concentrate our defenses at certain points. And we need to watch out for enemy archers. They're the only real danger to the Queen. Alright, so... let's see if we can reposition. Let's put him there. Har will be good on that side. There's a lot of fun to be had. Much fun. So we've got a bow gun. And we've got an archer. Alright, let's put a save down and begin. Alright, let's begin. Ah, Marcia.
Queen Elincia, I made it! Marcia. Thanks to General Joffrey, we spotted an ambush on the main road and snuck by on the old highway instead. The Royal Knights will be here soon. I flew ahead to tell you, and to serve up some traitor pie on my lance. Thank you. I'm impressed you made it back so quickly. My pleasure, Your Majesty. Now, which monkeys do you want filleted before the Royal Knights get here?
All of them. All of the monkeys. I am anti-monkey, to be sure. Alright. Let's begin. Alright. So there are certain individuals that need killing. One of them is this bow wielder here, and I think we can solve that pretty well. Huh. Not as well as I thought. Oh, and there's another archer down there. Oh, I took all her weapons. Details. Go up here. Unfortunate. I would have liked to get the queen into striking distance. Alright. Direct, we will have everyone... So, to wait their own actions, move to the target area, avoid contact. I'm going to put them halting in their own positions. Halt. That's what the direction is, right? Yes, it is. Alright, let's wait. Alright. Whew. Now, here's the thing. We need to... It's like, she could absolutely kill him. I'm sure of it. Yep, she would slaughter him. In fact, he would not even be able to counterattack. However, the issue we're running is... Actually, she can get away with it, too. All she has to do is be able to move one step. What's her movement? Movement is 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think we'll have enough movement to move back one step. Let's give it a try. Yeah, I mean, she would die to that in one shot, right? But... And she is now out of range of any of those archers, which leaves her able to utterly slaughter everything in her path. This is the glory that I am seeking. And maybe we'll attack somebody with a meteor. Nah. We good. Neolucci, sit back over here, please. And... Ah, that's tasty tea. That hits the spot. Alright, so the goal here is to give Alencia and Nephany all the experience I can. To have them rain death and destruction upon the enemies. That is the goal. And I think that should be possible. No guarantee, of course. Ouch, that is not going to be pleasant if it hits. It missed. Success. I need Nephany to get lots of XP. Yeah, that doesn't give her much experience, to be honest. Not a lot. We also have to watch out for wind magic. And I wouldn't mind getting some experience on Har. Let's see, Har can come down here. It's just not, doesn't have the speed to double attack, which is a bit irritating. Let me double check my enemies and see if there's anything I particularly want to steal. Reaper card, don't really care. Coin. More coins. A Draco shield. Okay. Energy drop will already come to me. So Draco shield. Since that exists, that means I need to get Heather down that direction. Let's go, Heather. Alright. What do we have? What do we have? Alright, so what we're going to do right here is we're going to step up. We are going to attack this noob and destroy him, and then let that passage be blocked by a body. We will take Ludveck's head. That is certain. Now, I do have a question. How high is your defense, sir? 26. Oh, yeah. She will not only kill you, friend. She will kill you in one round if she procs a single crit or activation of stun. Yup. Yes, indeed. Let's see, do we have other archers nearby? They've got longbows, which are irritating. Wind magic, perhaps? Can she reach? Yes, she definitely can. I'm nervous about other archers, but it honestly doesn't look like they can reach. So I guess I don't need to be nervous about them? Yeah, that works. Alright, so we're going to come down here. And I'm going to have Alencia go down and start killing some people. So she steps down in here and takes care of him. Again, her speed and everything else just combines to be very impressive. The main thing is that she doesn't get much XP from this, so healing would be better for her, generally speaking. But it is what it is. I wonder if we should soften someone up with a meteor strike. Nah, we good. Save it for more important moments. It's like I've told all my allied soldiers to halt and not do anything. Because, yeah, I don't really want them to take XP from my other characters. She's not quite as evasive as I was hoping, but should be able to last under these onslaughts. The only downside to her sword is it's unlike Ragnell and Arendite, it can't counterattack at range, or attack at range. So. Uh-oh. This is probably going to hurt a bit. Oh, no. Thunder is... I didn't know Thunder was... Thunder effective against flyers or just against wyverns? That's a bit risky. She's going to have to pull back and do a little retreating here. Do a little strategic withdrawal in a minute. All right. Now. Bit difficult. There's a lot of enemies coming up. Irritating ones, really. Alright, let's kill this guy real quick. And then have him withdraw. Can't hurt anyway. Oh boy. Let's slaughter this gentleman. Might take a little bit of an attack doing so. And probably she'll proc stun on the next attack. Nope. That's fine. Deliciosa. Let's get hard topped up. Let's see if I can... Alright, see if I can block this way up and kill this guy, hopefully. A little bit risky. A little bit risky. Up, critical. Victory. Bowgun destroyed. Let's move over here. All right. Excellent. End round. Now, if I get too slow, then I end up not accomplishing anything, so I gotta be careful here. All right. Dodge that, please. Yep. Blocked and no crits, but that's all right. It's all right. I would like you to dodge this too, but this might be much. I mean, yeah, well, it happens. She's gonna get tickled by this, for sure. You're probably gonna kill this one. Most likely. Probably get hit and then kill. It'd be great if you didn't. Yeah. That's gonna be death. Because she has an 86% crit chance now with this silly weapon. And this next one's going to come up, and oh boy, she's dead. She's almost definitely going to die to this. I'm crossing my fingers. Ugh. I'm restarting the level. Not losing Nephany. That is not happening. In fact, looking at the time, here's what I'm going to do. I know I did this last time as well. I'm going to go ahead and continue this tomorrow. It's time for me to get back into my audiobook work. So I will be back and we'll do this chapter again tomorrow and clear it out, finish part 2, and be ready next week to start part 3. So I hope you've enjoyed the stream, and we'll be back.